Okay, pillar 4 is cadence or rhythm. I like to describe it as rhythm because I feel like that word cadence gives people anxiety. You know, they got watches or metronomes that beep at them if their cadence falls below a certain threshold. And here's the deal. We're not sitting on a bicycle spinning pedals and like crankshafts that are very similar in size. Yes, there's different sizes and lengths, but I don't think there's as much direct application of that high cadence, you know, is what we should be doing as to running as there is in cycling. I've cycled for a long time. I've played with higher cadence, lower cadence, some strength phases. It's been great. In terms of running though, I've seen more people go bonkers trying to artificially hit 90 steps per minute just because their watch tells them that a large pool of marathon runners, who are professionals by the way, run at between 85 and 95 RPMs, like turnover per minute, revolutions per minute, like close to 200 steps per minute, right? This is not necessarily something that all of us needs to strive for. So I kind of back away about talking about cadence. If it's something that you've studied or looked into for yourself, what I'll tell you from my experience coaching is that I've seen cadences anywhere between 75, 80, up to 95, 100. And these are on different length people in terms of their height, in terms of their leg length, and even in terms of their competition level. From elite level Olympic marathon trials qualifiers to recreational runners. The key is finding something that feels good for you as you move, and then exploring it a little bit, knowing that there is a relationship between cadence, your turnover, your position in space, and how fast you're going. There's a nice little triangle between those things that we'll get into as we run here shortly. But understand that it's not a magical 90 beats per minute or 180 beats per minute, 90 revolutions. The cadence isn't a standard number to give. Personally, I like using music, so I like to talk about rhythm when we're running, right? And it's my skip drill. Skipping is one of my favorite things to tease out rhythm and see kind of how people move. We'll get back to that later. So I got the Paint It Black by the Stones. It's at about 80 beats per minute. So I'm going to just let this music ride out. I don't expect you to really hear it. Good song, so you can check it out on your own. But I'm going to go through this walk here first. I'm going to kick the music on, and then I'm going to start running in place at 80 beats per minute at about what this song is at. Pull, pull, pull. Lift, lift, lift. Elbows back. Phone error. So 80 beats per minute. For me, that's like a slow recovery jogs, easy miles. That's about where I fit, where I run at. When I'm doing things either like striders or in a workout, some type of interval workout or tempo work, or when I'm racing, I tend to move a little faster in terms of my cadence. So for this, I'm going to go to appropriately titled Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty. And this is at about 85 beats per minute. So if you want to go back, you can check out 80 beats per minute, and you can look at the two and notice that my turnover is a little quicker here. For me, that's what feels like really comfortable. It allows me to feel like poppy still. I'm light on my feet. I'm able to keep that turnover. I notice when I start to get tired that I start to kind of slug a little bit. My cadence does drop some. Here's what you need to remember. If you need to run slower and your cadence therefore drops down some, that's fine. I told you there's a relationship between those. If you feel like you're prone to chronic like high hamstring piriformis, like anything in the tush injuries, because you're reaching out or you have a very low cadence, or instead of being vertical here in this pistoning motion, if you're somebody that tends to overstride or overreach, this is where cadence and paying some attention to rhythm can really help you. So as I'm running, as I'm moving, I'm thinking about, mostly, I'll tell you personally, I think about driving my elbows back, 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 back. And it's probably, without knowing you, or knowing too much about you right now, where I would suggest you start at when we're thinking about rhythm. Because think about it, the arms and the legs, we know they match and move in tandem with each other, right? Like opposite, but they move very much so with each other. So what's easier, for your brain to think about pop, 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 driving your elbows back, or for you to artificially make your legs move faster? The answer is the arms are right here. So I click petty on again. And all the material I need is right there for my brain to see. I can feel it. And as I get that down, pop, 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 the legs come in naturally. Shoulder extension facilitates hip flexion. Pop, pop, pop. So start there. Start with a pop, pop, elbows back, elbows back. If you feel like you have that, and we need to look at the hips, lift, lift, or pull, 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 maybe we dial the arms back a little bit. Playing around with those two.